Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey. How are you today?
Look. It has been a day, okay? It feels like it's been a year.
Yeah.
Today, this week, last week.
This been a whole 2020 reloaded.
What they say, Jumanji level. What is this? What month is this?
2?
13? Level 13.
Really?
Yeah. It's been so crazy, but it's a blessed Thursday. I'm happy to be here once again at the Single Mommy Hustle. It's the Single Mommy Hustle. So we've got some great people here with us today. This is such an amazing day to do this podcast because I just love it when a good plan comes together. So I want to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way because I don't want to waste any time from our conversation because it's going to get pretty deep and heavy, right? So I have to say a big shout out to our community sponsors. Single Mommy Hustle podcast is sponsored by Supreme Transitions nonprofit organization. This is our community and education and empowerment forum. We've had to be creative due to the pandemic, and so it's been fun since August. We've been nominated for the Detroit Choice Awards.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Best podcast. You can vote every day, okay? So make sure you go to DetroitChoiceAwards.com/vote and vote for Single Mommy Hustle as your favorite podcast. We want to continue doing this thing. It's been so much fun. Like, I had no clue that this was going to, like, really be a thing for me.
Yeah. You know I didn't.
Girl, bye. So we want to say, hey, girl, hey. Everybody make sure you share. Go on YouTube, like and subscribe. Like all of our stuff on Instagram and Facebook. We have to give a shout out to Supreme Transitions community sponsors. The People's Insurance, that's Daddy Assure. Kiki Sharon at Salon Truly Blessed. She gets me together and Jessica and our churns every week for this podcast. Also have to give a big shout out to Kai Mann with Life Astrology, the apothecary. Oh, she takes care of us. Oh, all of our natural herbs and supplements and so many other things. Please tap in. Also, Mr. Locke with I Am Him, He Is I clothing line. A community sponsor. These people have all tapped in and made sure to give back whenever we reach in. And it's such a big deal.
Yes, it is. Now, on a lighter note, here at Single Mommy Hustle, we like to send love and light to the Summerlin family. The family of Lauren Fletcher and the entire class of 2002 PHS. We love you all.
Those boys, those girls,
we
representing.
love you all. The Hale Fleming family and the Bright family.
Most definitely. And these are our loved ones. These are not just people that we are just saying a shout out to. We both, when we say it's been a year in this past week, we have experienced tremendous loss. And so we have to say we love you, Kiara.
We definitely love you.
We most definitely have always loved you, Kiara. And she identifies as Jeffrey, so we want to be respectful of her in that way. And so to the Bright family, we love you. We wrap our arms around you in the most sincere and delicate ways. My uncle, my cousin, and just got a notification that my other uncle passed away. So sending love to the Basil family in that loss. Right?
This week, it's been a week.
We all have had some trying times in this last year. So be sure to take care of yourself, take care of your family. Your first ministry is your family above everything else that you do. And mental health is very important as well as your physical health.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But getting into what we are doing tonight, I have one of my favorites. Yeah, that's it. So all of my cousins be like, she said I'm her favorite.
That's me. We are her favorite.
That's me.
So fake.
But I wanted to invite my baby cousin, Shantae Dozier, to the podcast to shed some love and light on what she's doing. She knows a little something about that single mommy hustle. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you
I
for
appreciate
that.
you, cousin, so much.
Hey, Mr. Handsome.
I love Mr. Handsome.
Hey, baby,
Look,
that's
fun
my
fact,
baby.
I know Mr. Handsome.
You know, that's my baby.
I know.
Yeah, we love Mr. Handsome.
Shout out to Jerome Jr.
And so Tay, I call her Tay. So Tay has risen above expectations. And I just applaud you for your resilience.
Thank you.
And all that you have survived, all that you have been through. Mm-hmm. So when I invited Tay to come on the Single Mommy Hustle, I thought I was going to highlight her companies. Baby got companies. She not playing.
That me. That right, too.
She not playing at all. But when we talked about it, she said, well, cousin, I have something near to my heart that I would like to talk about. And that is an issue, a community issue.
Major issue.
With that issue being mass incarceration and over sentencing of black men. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, well, how we going to figure this out? Because we got to be appropriate, right?
Right.
But we also got to stay true to who we are. This is a culturally specific program. And so we shed light and give power to voice and truth with Single Mommy Hustle. Mm-hmm. And so, Tay, I want you to look into your camera and tell us all who you are.
Okay.
And your companies and how people can reach you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no problem. Hello, everyone. My name is Shantae Dozier. I am 29. I just recently had a birthday, February 16th. So happy birthday to me. I'm still accepting gifts, FYI. And a little bit about me. Let's see. I am a mother, first and foremost. Like she said, shout out to Jerome. And I also would like to give a shout out to my mom, who actually just finished her last chemo treatment today.
Yes, congratulations.
So congratulations, mommy. It was so hard, but we got through it. We fought through it. But yeah, so I pretty much do everything, guys. Like, I pretty much do everything. I went to school for CNA, medical assistant, oral surgery, dental assistant, but my passion is fashion and motivating people. So with that being said, I have a YouTube channel. It's called TaySlay Motivation Station, so go subscribe. I also do photography. I have a page on Instagram. You can find me. It's scene_Shantae_selfie. That's SEEN_SHAN as in Nancy, TAE. _selfie, SELFIE. And that's where you can find my photography information. But yeah, I pretty much do it all. But today I'm really amped and ready to talk about this topic because it does mean a lot to me. Mm-hmm. It is serious and it's something that needs to be talked about. We need to raise awareness about this topic because, you know, families are being ripped apart. And it's not just fathers, it's mothers. You know, everybody suffers. And we need to raise awareness so we can make a change,
Absolutely.
You know, immediately.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
So yeah, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much, cousin, for allowing me to be here. Everybody, you know, I'm glad to be here. I love it. I'm so thankful.
I appreciate your support, Tay.
I appreciate you. Thank you for even asking me, cousin. Thank you for just, you know, everything. I love you.
And Imani always cracking jokes. She said, it's something about on your mama's side. Everybody be like, cousin. Hey, cousin.
You know, that's how it is. Cousin. Everybody, huh? Everybody, cousin. Everybody.
Oh,
So yes, thank you for allowing this, you know, allowing us to be here. You know, me and Armann, because this means a lot to him, so that means a lot to me. And I know if it means a lot to me, it means a lot to you. It means a lot to her, it means a lot to you, you know. Definitely, and we have to come together as one and really raise awareness, you know, make this known and big, because it's a movement.
Yeah,
that part.
And it's important.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
So without further ado, you know, with my cousin reaching in and saying, you know what, this is important to me. I said, well, you know what, baby, we got to do it on a whole nother level. Okay.
Yes.
Because I don't do nothing small at
Period.
all. Got to pull in our resources and keep it moving. But before I do that, I did bring some products. This is Life Astrology. I don't know if that's visible. Yeah, it is. This is one of the teas. This is the Third Eye blend. Smells great. And this is the Immunity.
Oh, I love it.
Immunity, yes. So
I love it.
I brought it so you guys can grab a satchel. Here at the Single Mommy Hustle, we are huge on self-care and filling your cup. And we would love to give you guys some gifts. I love that my cousin Scent has survived, overcome, beat it down.
Yes.
I love you, Mom.
She is
Shout
one
out
of the
to Scent.
she
Shout
is the
out to
biggest
you,
supporter of Supreme Transitions since 2012 when we started.
Wow. You know what? Everybody that I talk to says that, like, they have any, like our cousin Desi, she has that little restaurant business she was doing. She's like, your mom is the biggest supporter. Everybody say, your mom is the biggest supporter. Your mom, she is. That's why
She is.
She's so
and you
selfless.
remember when I had my first women's conference?
Yes, ma'am.
She pulled you
She was
and your brother.
everybody. I'm
She was like
Mom,
folding out tables, putting up balloons.
Yes.
She was doing it all. So we love you, Scent.
We do, Mom,
So,
so much.
I have a candy bar in this bag for Scent because she's so sweet. But this is yours, Tay.
Okay, Mama, I don't know if I see the candy bar. Oh, thank you. Do we have tissue?
No. So I want you to show everyone what you got in your gifts.
Oh, my God.
So you can continue to fill your cup.
Fill my cup, and it is 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock.
All the time.
I
Every
love
time you
it.
feel it, it's 1 o'clock.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Not a
I have a
problem.
gift for you, too, also.
Oh, just give me a second.
And Jessica. And Hakim, everybody.
Just give us a second. And so I was going to say, I wanted to introduce a good friend of mine, Mr. Hakim. Am I allowed to say Nathaniel? Mr. Hakim Crampton.
Like you know me or something.
I know you. I know you. You got on the wrong hat, though.
No. You know, I was gonna wear my D hat today, but you know what? As my daughter always say, this hat is for her because her name is Nyla.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
NY.
NY. Hey, Nyla. We sending you love, baby. So I love you, Hakim. I love and support everything that you do. You know, since we met, I've been 100% on board. Any way that I can support. I want you to look into your camera, tell everyone who you are, all of the titles.
Wow.
All of them.
Wow.
The lyricists.
Titles.
Okay, all of it.
You know, of course, as y'all know, titles don't really mean nothing.
That part.
You know, titles don't really mean nothing, of course. But my name is Hakim Crampton. In the spoken word community, they call me the spoken flow poet. But I'm a lyrical educator, hip hopologist, community activist, criminal justice advocate. I work for Just Leadership USA. It's a national nonprofit organization based out of New York. The initiative and focus is that those close to the problem are those close to the solution. So therefore, when those who are close to the problem are silenced from contributing to a solution, we have a very serious problem that calls for activists and advocates like me to really step up to ensure that our voice can make it to the table. And aside all the other accolades, you know, I wrote books and et cetera, author, I got 8 books in print. But for me, and most importantly for the work I'm doing right now, critically, to be at this place where I'm at, in the stage that I'm at now, in 2019, I was appointed to a 4-year term by Governor Gretchen Whitmore as a commissioner on Michigan Indigent Defense Commission. And that's a critical place for me to be because it puts me in government, officially in government, but to have a critical role and a voice and a voting voice in determining the outcomes within the criminal justice community in Michigan at the highest level. And that relates directly to a person's right to adequate defense counsel. So when you get someone appointed to you as a lawyer in the courts, the commission I'm on, we govern that to make sure that you are afforded your full right to fair and adequate counsel. And so it's a blessing to be at that level. So the title of commissioner, to me right now, speaks volumes to the work that I've been doing.
That part.
Absolutely.
That part. I love it. And you know, I tune in on Saturdays. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I've been blessed to be invited to be a co-host on Heart to Heart with Nate Frazier. I'm currently on WMKH in Detroit, but it will be shifting to a new station coming up in March. And it's a great opportunity to be on the Saturday segment, which will be moving to Thursday, to really address some of the serious core issues here in Michigan that deal with the criminal justice community, to deal with police brutality, over policing in communities, for example, prosecutorial accountability, things of that nature, for us to have a place and a space to talk about that in the virtual world is important.
That part. Hakim, you know you dope as fuck. I have a gift for you, love.
I appreciate it.
And so I already put some tea in your gift.
Okay.
So one of each. One of the Third Eye blend, one of the immunity, or whatever. So open it up. Show the folks what you got.
Okay. Oh, we ready to go ahead and put some hot water in here. You know what I'm saying? Michigan and Murder Myth. What?
Oh,
that's because you be everywhere. I know you traveled a long ways, and I appreciate you.
Batman is
Absolutely
cool now.
good.
You know, they took away the Black Panther brother.
They did.
You don't see him no more. You know what I'm saying? I used to buy everything Black Panther. Batman is cool too, though.
But I love Batman, so that's near and dear to my heart. Okay. You didn't see because I backed in, but I have the decal on the back of my car. You put that back signal up, I'm on my way.
Batmobile.
And last but not least, very loving person that I've had the pleasure to meet through my cousin Tay, Mr. Armann Page. You're here, and
Yes,
I thank
I am.
you, love.
I thank you for having me.
I want you to look into your camera right here in front of Tay and tell us who you are and how people can reach you.
Okay, my name is Armann Page. Let me start by just thanking God, giving him praise and glory. None of this would be possible without him. And I would also like to thank you, Erica and Jessica, for having me here today. You, Shantae, for putting this all together. And you, Brother Hakim, for traveling your long ways and, you know, making this all happen to help propel and elevate, you know, this conversation that we need to talk about. You can reach me at, like I said, I'm running my dad's page, so you can reach me at Ricky Kincaide. You know, you can contact him through his messages or anything of that nature. You can also reach me with my email, Armann Page, ARMANNPAGE @yahoo.com. And yeah, you can reach me there.
And baby, I got a gift for you too.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
We love the gifts.
I appreciate that.
We love the gifts.
Thank you so much.
You know I'm cheesy as hell. I can't.
Okay. I appreciate the gift. We went around scrambling for cups, and look at this.
And there you go. So I don't know you very well, so I got all black. You know what I mean?
Hey, that'll work. You can't never go wrong with black.
I got all black.
You can't never go wrong with black. I wore all black.
awesome.
So here's the thing. We want to talk about missing our fathers, black men being incarcerated and removed from the family unit due to mass incarceration and over sentencing. There has been so much trauma to our community. And Hakim, I asked you to come here as an expert on that. And I also asked Mr. Page to be present to share his personal insight with his father being removed, not being able to get to know his dad or cultivate a relationship with his dad in person, but through jail, behind bars, since he was 1 year old. We all understand the crime bill. We understand when that was developed, it was under a racist system. You understand what I'm saying? Black voices were not at the table. People of color were not there. We didn't have much of a voice as we do now. We weren't voting the way that we should. We didn't even know that we could. I'm just being honest. And then the leadership to follow, when we talk about the Clintons and whatever the case, they may not have 100% been aware or identified with the systemic racism. They were just kind of picking up and trying to win, right? But it has had a major impact on our community, on men and women having a loss of their fathers. And it just breaks my heart when I think about it. I have cousins, me and Jessica both, we talked about it, have been blessed that our parents were married. We have never went a day without our dad. Whether our parents were married or divorced, separated, we talk to our dads regularly. We don't know what that feels like. So we can't truly empathize with those who don't have their dads. You know what I mean? So, Hakim, Jessica, how do you guys want to kind of kick this conversation off?
Well, I think, you both, you were definitely waiting on this moment. So, I'm cool.
Want to start with me?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell your story, baby.
You are.
Okay.
Where is your dad? Where's your dad right now?
Backstory.
My dad is currently incarcerated in Carson City, so I definitely want to give a big shout out to everybody in Carson City, all the fathers, all the inmates in Carson City. Big shout out.
As well.
Yep, Carson City. And a little bit about me. Obviously, I grew up without my father. He was sentenced. He was given a double life sentence, actually. He was given a life sentence in the federal prison, and he was also handed a life sentence in the state prison as well. And, throughout my time growing up, I was raised single-handedly. I have a brother, so my mom raised two boys single-handedly. I definitely want to give a big shout-out to my mom because she definitely that single mommy hustle.
Definitely.
So
Shout out to her.
I definitely want to give a shout-out to my mom. And, life for me, it definitely wasn't easy. It was hard, at times sad, depressing, and I managed, luckily through the grace of God, I managed, and, I just tried my best, and for me growing up, growing up within school, I always, I had plenty of voids that I tried to fill, I tried to cope with what I was dealing with, and ways that I tried to cope, I got into plenty of fights, got suspended from school. I continuously kept my mom running up back and forth to the school. I would literally get suspended when I get readmitted. She'd come and get me readmitted, and I would literally get suspended the very same day, and handing her another suspension papers, and I apologize to my mom for that, but I was just trying to cope, and yeah, me growing up, just without my dad, that in itself left a void in me. Just not having my father, me having friends and they had their fathers, and it wasn't easy, and knowing that my dad and knowing the person that he is, and mind you, for one, I definitely want to give a shout out to my pops because I don't think anybody would be able to, in his situation, in his shoes, could be able to handle the pressure and the things that he dealt with the way that he did, because my dad, he's the Omega, you know what I'm saying? He's that guy, and he definitely did his best at raising his two children, me and my brother. Shout out to my bro, Henri. Don't let me get it confused.
Okay, so Mr. Page, I want you to tell us what your dad was sentenced with.
Okay, my dad.
And that law.
Okay, like I said, my dad was sentenced to life in federal prison with, due to crack cocaine. In that era, he was given a life sentence. And then, he did nearly 20 years in the federal penitentiary, and thanks to the Fair Sentencing Act under the Obama administration in 2010, he was able to get out, and he beat that first life sentence. And when he came over to the state prison, pretty much right now, they're just telling him, listen, you got life. If you look on Otis, in the state prison, he's locked up to the 650 lifer law.
Thank you.
The 650 lifer law.
If you don't mind, go into details
about what
for people that
don't know what it is. Okay, the 650 lifer law is a law that was passed in, I believe, 1973 by Governor William Milliken, and it mandated a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole for anyone convicted of possessing, delivering, or intending to deliver 650 grams of cocaine or heroin. And they gave you life without the possibility of parole. And pretty much that's what my dad is still facing. And today, that law has changed. Brother Hakim tell me that they did make that retroactive, but that was my dad's literally first case that he actually ever caught, excuse me. But as a first time offender, if today, even having to do any jail, he probably wouldn't even have to do any jail time today. Being a first-time offender today, if he caught that today, he probably won't have to do any jail time. And
he may have had to do some jail time.
Okay, but even if he did do some jail time, he would be eligible for parole after only serving 2 years today.
Is that he may have been convicted, he may have been able to do some jail time, but not over 30 years.
Exactly.
He has been excessively charged, right? And so, Hakim, can you speak a little bit to those laws and where we are today?
Yeah, wow. I want to first thank y'all for having this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shantae, for leading this type of conversation, and not only leading this conversation in this world in which we are at and we're facing today, but leading it from the point of view of a woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
I want to say that, and particularly in relation to the name of this podcast, The Single Mommy Hustles, because what we have to realize is that this movement, this advocacy work at all levels, not just criminal justice, education advocacy,
Definitely.
economic advocacy, political advocacy.
Turn up, Hakim.
It's been led by the women of our community.
Absolutely.
It's been led since slavery by the women.
That part.
And as much as we talk about and we wait for our black males to lead and expect them to lead our household, sadly, we ain't in the best position to lead. And y'all have been leading it. So in the absence of our effective and adequate leadership, I yield to your leadership.
All
So
glory
this is
be
the
to God.
reason why I've answered your call. And when any women leaders particularly call me, I'm there.
That part.
So I'm
all
here
glory be to
Thank
God.
you.
to
I
answer that
appreciate
call.
you so much.
Thank you.
No doubt. So I want to acknowledge y'all and appreciate y'all for having this conversation leading, because the ultimate impact of this conversation really bears upon that critical component of your lives, the motherhood that you maintain and establish in our community. That motherhood is weakened because of the absence
That part.
of the strength of black male leadership in our households, in our community.
Absolutely.
So you leading this conversation is only for, it's only right, right? You leading this conversation because it's at the heart of your capacity to continue to raise a family.
It's our heart cry
Right.
because it's not.
it
And a
is.
lot of people say, "Oh, black women, they sold this, they sold that." But at the end of the day, we want leadership. We want a head of the household.
Yes.
We want
Definitely.
some relief
100%.
from our shoulders. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And not all, and there's so many people that are unjustly incarcerated, wrongfully incarcerated, and
Absolutely.
then over sentenced.
Yes.
Definitely
Right.
over sentence. That part.
Definitely. That
So
part.
we can talk about even the dynamics on how our community is positioned strategically to fall into some of these traps, but that's not what we on today, right? But so when you fall into some of these traps because of lack of resources and lack of knowledge and lack of so many other different things, we are left
That's right.
to carry these things, and we don't get to cry. We don't get to sit on the sidelines because for those who follow the Bible, it says you have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
That's right.
It don't say you get to sit down and cry.
You get
and
to wait
find
for a minute.
No, you don't get to take no break and rest your
Pause it,
feet.
baby.
You don't get to take
Better
your
keep
shoes
it
off.
moving.
You gotta
At
keep
all.
You gotta keep it
walking
moving.
through
Definitely.
that valley.
Yes.
And fear no evil.
That's
right.
Okay. So I thank you, Tay, like Hakim said, because we're fearless. Some of us, what they say, don't put a jelly bone where your backbone supposed to be. Some of us, we just continuously move, seamlessly shift. And so it's very important because we're standing up, one, for our community, but we're also advocating for ourselves
That's right.
and what we need.
Yep.
And we're advocating for what our children need.
And the people.
the
Absolutely.
community.
general.
The people,
Yeah.
others, as women, just nurturers by nature.
Yeah.
So, we got a lot of that to give to everybody. So, yeah.
That's right.
That part. And so like Tay has a son, Jessica has 2 sons and 2 daughters, and I have 2 girls. Hakim got a daughter. I don't know what you got.
I got 2 boys.
All right.
I got 2 boys.
So we all are parents, right?
Yes.
And we're all active in the education part. We're all active in making sure our children have health care and things like that. But how do we heal this part? Because a lot of times in navigating systems, it gets so overwhelming.
So overwhelming.
When you think about the court system within itself, I mean, even on the lowest level, family court,
Yeah.
hiccups with child support,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Look at Tay's face.
But you gotta fight. You gotta fight
Absolutely.
through and pray that you got somebody that can
Help
that you
you.
can understand. They
Yeah.
can understand you, and we can move forward in the right way
Yeah.
Right.
and make the best out of what it is.
That's right.
It's hard, right? So the thing, and I think I left my notebook. I'm good on my notebooks. But the things that I really wanted to talk about were the lived experiences. You know what I mean? And so I thank you, Mr. Page, for being bold enough to have never gathered any memories of your dad. but to still hold that love and hold
So
that
passionate,
faith.
yes.
Yeah, as if you've been with them your whole life.
And that's how they actually are. Like,
And the thing,
seriously.
and the thing is, I have, even though I haven't had my dad physically, but my dad has been there every step of the way. Like, he hasn't missed a beat. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't think anybody could put themselves in my dad's shoes and try to raise, like really raise two boys into trying to make them become men the way that he has. Like he done taught me a lot. Like I don't think anybody else has taught me more than my father.
Wow.
Wow.
From prison.
I've learned a lot from him. Just
From prison.
prison.
Like, if you know my dad, like, my dad is a revolutionary. Like, he's for the people. He's for change.
Yes.
He speaks knowledge. He has the truth of knowledge of self and
Absolutely.
all
That
that.
part. That part I love.
And see,
knowledge of self and self-preservation. My
Go ahead,
dad has
Hakeem.
all of that.
You know what's critical about what he just highlighted is the effect
Yeah.
of the relationship.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Now listen, when that relationship is broken and our children are left out here without that parent, that contributing factor, right? That two-parent structure that y'all had, right? What we have is children being raised, as he mentioned, about the dysfunctional elements that ultimately impacted him in spite of that he had a present absent father that was still contributing. But
Absolutely.
what we are dealing with is children that are ill-equipped to lead themselves.
Yeah.
Don't have the full leadership in their home.
Yeah.
In spite of how much love mama got,
See,
grandmama
yeah.
got, uncle,
Yeah.
cousin, in spite of
Uncle
the
Dad.
advice,
Uncle Dad.
the support, in spite of what they're doing, they're still in peril, they're still in jeopardy of the circumstances of not having that essential component. What we have to do as mothers, as fathers, as community members, we have to stop holding these children accountable as if they're adults and blaming them for their behavior.
Yes.
It's not their fault because we failed for some reason or another, whichever the reason is, to adequately give them what they need to be raised up as a whole child in our family. But we blame them. So first thing we do in schools is blame them. We punish them, we discipline them, we suspend them, and by the time they get home, we cuss them out for getting in trouble at school.
Not knowing what already
So,
been
like,
through
the whole
already.
Yep, they already been through enough.
We have to
Yep.
stop that cycle of contributing to the trauma because what has happened is this. See, the systems, slavery,
That
right?
part.
The slavery created the institutional systems that they create. Now, listen to this is key because, listen, we've never been an independent people. But we had the independence to raise a family structure
That part.
independently. We've raised our family based on the philosophical ideas, the internal sense of self giving to us through slavery. So we've never been freely independent mentally to raise our children, to give them what
Wow.
they need.
Yep.
So instead, our children today, when they begin to act out and display symptoms of trauma that comes from
That
generations of trauma and
That
oppression and violence and
Come on, Hakeem.
poverty, we are punishing our children and we fall into the trap that the system, we work with the system to harm our community.
Yes, we do.
So the first thing we talked about this the other day
Right.
about the snitching rule, right? About snitching.
What's the snitching
Now, we
rule?
know it's important to hold ourselves accountable. But the dichotomy in that is this. We know we have to hold our community accountable, but how do we hold our community accountable? How do we hold our community accountable when it's not really us? We're handing them over to the system that is by designed to break us,
like, what
to
do
get
we
us
do?
in the system. So we run to the broken system that created the conditions for us to commit a crime against our community, and then we run to that system to discipline us.
That part.
Wow.
Yep.
How do we have
That's
that conversation
contradictory.
in the midst of all of this? It's profound.
Definitely is.
It's beyond profound.
We needed 2 hours for this.
And then it's like, what is the point of incarceration? You know, is it to reform the person?
That's on my notes.
Or, you know, is it to just keep them trapped away and not let them get a second chance? If you paid your debt to society, let the person out. You know, this not a criminal.
But so the over sentencing part.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. When you have not, well, inadvertently, you may have caused some harm, physical harm. But when you have not directly played a hand in physical harm, taking a life, how do you get a life sentence?
Double. Like, that's deep.
How do you get a life sentence?
It goes to show you how we value liberty.
That part.
Exactly.
America's supposed to be based on liberty, but we restrict people's liberty for selling drugs,
Yep.
right? For a physical choice that people make, for oftentimes a substance abuse issue, a chemical dependency issue.
That part.
We punish them,
Yep.
right, for that scenario
Still
existing
punishing
in our
them.
community, for
Yeah.
depression, for people self-medicating,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
But
And we
what is
punish
it called now with this opioid addiction?
them. Oh, it's legal.
It's a horrible travesty to our community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have to save these poor souls, these non-people of color. We have to save these poor souls and give them the resources that they need to be able to re-enter into their homes and take care of their children. But when it was the black people, it was a straight up crime. You going straight to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Bye. You know, it's a documentary that it's called Healing Neen. It's an old documentary, but it's a good one. Healing Neen, and she's a survivor of so many different traumas, right? And she self-medicated and went into that world and was incarcerated because she was a drug addict. Okay, she never dealt any drugs or did anything. She was a drug addict and created some crime or committed some crimes to feed her habit. And by the grace of God or whatever she believes in, she was able to get into some other programs in prison and then advocate for herself. And now she works on the other side of the table and lends voice, right? But that's not everybody. You know, even, you know, my story with being a sexual assault survivor, being able to flip the lens and sit on the other side of the table on a national level, on a statewide level, on a local level to advocate for survivors of violence. You know, it's very rare that you get that opportunity. Even with Hakim saying his opportunities, you know, he was incarcerated unjustly and God is giving him, or whoever he believes in, giving him the opportunity to sit on the opposite side of the table
Bless
and
him.
lend voice to change and reimagine these policies that are totally unjust for our community who have out the gate. And when I say gate, when they opened the gates from slavery, we never had a fair shot.
Never.
We never had a fair shot.
That's right.
Never.
And we have not recuperated nor given the services to recuperate physically, mentally, let alone financially,
That all.
and have a seat at the table. Currently, our president has diversity, right? And it's being fought tooth and nail to have these different genders,
Yep.
races,
Yep.
views, okay, voices at the table. But this is what we need to reverse and reform and truly reimagine what it looks like for the future.
Hey, absolutely.
So everybody who ain't
Absolutely.
registered to vote,
Go
vote.
vote.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Look, and vote for me for city council district 7.
Got my vote.
Definitely mine.
Got my
Shameless
vote.
plug. I am the voice, right, of community. That's the tagline.
I can't wait.
Legacy Detroiters will be heard
Okay.
in our
City
district.
council one
But
day.
it's so real, right?
Absolutely.
It's so real. And so, Armann, you were telling us that your dad had accomplished so many different things while incarcerated. And I have no clue. My little poor little self done been
Okay.
in jail for maybe 3 days.
Okay.
At the
Really,
most. Yeah, I've been in jail for 5 I got my little badge.
Okay,
I'm street cred certified.
I'm not street credit certified.
If that's a thing, don't do it. Don't do it.
I need my credit.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Let me tell you, I was cute to the bug
But
too.
look- but
Had just
look
got my
at you.
last
You know what I'm
break. It was
saying?
awesome foolishness. It was also systemic
look at you.
racism. You know where I live on the border of Dearborn
Okay.
for an air freshener hanging from my mirror.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But
Wow.
that was the hardest 3 days of my polar life.
the 3.
Okay, I had just got my lashes done. I was so cute in my little picture. Everybody felt bad. Like, girl, you was just too cute. It's not fun, okay? So I'm not bragging about being in jail for a ticket.
Okay.
I'm not bragging about being in jail at all. I'm just
all.
saying that in a joking way.
Yeah, but you're a beast. You're amazing. You know, you're a role model.
Thank you.
So, and you had to go through that to get to where you are now.
No, I ain't never got to go through that ever.
I'm just saying, you know, like your life, you had to go through, you know, your past life experience to get to where you at. Just like anybody
That
in life.
part,
You
yeah.
know?
That's
Absolutely.
real.
I agree.
But you know, it's so funny. You know, I still laugh about it today. Baby, I would never. I pay everything on time. Don't even think about putting me in nobody's jail because I was in there sad. I was clinking the little thing against the thing.
Oh my goodness.
So I can't even imagine, what it feels like to do any real heavy time, and then be over sentenced. Mm-hmm. I just can't imagine. I mean, I cried when they took me from Dearborn to the county. I was like, where am I going? Mm-hmm. What is this? Who's going to find me here? My kids don't know.
A case like Armand's dad
Yeah.
is the height of over-sentencing.
Exactly.
When you sentence someone
Explain
to
that.
a life sentence, right, and take someone's liberty for the rest of their life,
Yeah.
that's the height of it. But they have so many mechanisms in place to do that. For example, when I was sentenced in Wisconsin in 1991, I was accused of a homicide that I had no part in. The homicide charge itself was a charge that was only 20 years, but I ended up with 45 years. So how do you do that? How do you build into that? So what they do is prosecutors, through their discretion, they find every possible violation of a actual law code and tack that on to your charges.
Wow.
So, for example, I was charged with first-degree reckless homicide. So then the question is, was this homicide committed during the commission with the use of a weapon? If it was, there's a 5-year penalty enhancer to that. So now that 20 years is now 25 years.
Okay.
Then, what crime was being committed during the commission of the murder, which was a crime? Oh, well, I was being accused of attempted robbery.
Okay.
So now I'm facing the attempted armed robbery charges. But because I had a previous felony from the state of Michigan while I'm in the state of Wisconsin, now I get what's called a criminal enhancer for penalty enhancement for a habitual criminal. So
that's
now I get 10 more
25
years. So
plus
now that
10.
20 years
Wow.
was 25 years, plus 10 years, plus 10 years, and I end up with 45 years in prison. Now that happens all the time to people.
Yeah.
You could be like, for example, you get caught with a gun in a vehicle. So now you get caught with a firearm. You get caught with what do they call it?
Carry concealed.
Carry a concealed weapon, illegal usage of a firearm, possession of bullets, right? And then illegal usage of a firearm in a vehicle, or illegal usage of illegal operating a vehicle while in possession of a firearm. Like they find all these multiple charges, so you're facing 15, 20 years for a simple crime.
And then, so you can't even afford bail, right? Because, see, that's another thing. We talked about that last week when we had mentioned Khalif Browder and how that crime, that bail system just does not work, right, for low-income families. So when the charges are stacked against you, as Hakim just gave that imagery, your family is like, okay, well, how much, what you need to get out? How do we get you out? And it could be $2,000, right? It could be $500. That could be the bail system just does not work, right, when it comes to our community. And I noticed, I watched the show when what county is he in?
LA Savage, Washington.
Washington County. You had the new DA on, and he was giving some more details about how they wanted to reform that. Can you shed some more light on that?
Yeah, so cash bail, of course, is a surety that a person will return to court pending charges. Now, of course, the law is set up, written by design, so that this surety guarantees so you have an incentive to return to court. And it's not supposed to be used
weaponized.
Not supposed to be weaponized against particularly poor people. It just wasn't designed that way. The court system is set up to where legally by law, the state has the option to request this, right? The prosecutor has the option to request bail, to request a judge and say, hey, judge, by state law, we want this person either held without bail or we ask for bail up to this amount extent. And the judge has that discretion to do so. Ellie Savitt, under that discretion, is now saying that because we as a prosecutor have the discretion to actually recommend bail, we're going to opt out of that recommendation. And we're no longer going to actually ask for bail on any case whatsoever. Even a murder charge, they're saying, we're not going to ask for bail. So what they're going to do is essentially leave it up to the judge. Okay. But the reason why this is critical and the reason why the commission I sit on, the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission, is because one of our standards is that an individual has the right to counsel at first appearance. That first appearance is when you first get charged, first get arrested, right? And then appear before for a bail hearing. Now, if the prosecution normally attends that bail hearing and you ain't even got no attorney appointed to you because you ain't even seen the judge yet. This is your first time seeing the judge. No attorney has been appointed to you, and you have a prosecutor standing up there saying this individual is charged with reckless endangering the safety. He had drugs in his possession. There was a domestic violence that occurred at the same time. We recommend $50,000 bail, Your Honor.
Wow.
And the judge is like, wow, you got all this going against you. You got a past record, $50,000 bail. But when the prosecutor is able to stand down and say, we don't recommend any bail in this case, this individual is innocent until proven guilty, but you have a counsel, because it's your first appearance. So now you have an attorney there to say, Your Honor, these are accusations at this time. My client is currently employed, currently has a family, currently has, co-custody of his children. You have someone to advocate for you.
Right. That part.
Right.
You see what I mean? So that it reduces the mitigation of the factors involved with the reason why a bail is initiated to begin with. So it's a critical factor that Eli is not doing that, and we wish that every county wouldn't do that. As Illinois, you just seen, Illinois just banned cash bail, but that's at the state level. You see what I'm saying? You have to do it at the state legislative level in order to make that happen.
Wow. It's so much.
It is.
And I feel like we need more time to like really unpack this thing and share more on the lived experiences part.
Definitely.
And when me and Hakim first talked about it and I was asking him to come on, and he was like, I appreciate you doing this. He said, because it's important to share that for Black men. He said, but something we rarely talk about is the impact on Black women.
Yeah.
Right? And I have a loved one who is experiencing that. Her dad was locked up for over 20 years. And due to the pandemic, he was released. We all prayed and hoped, but he was released a little early, just a smidge early. But the rebuilding of the relationship is something that trying to help her navigate is really hard because she had so many expectations, for the day he got home, for the first year that he got home, and I believe he wanted to honor those things, right? But still just the world is so different from 21 years ago. Even a cell phone and, you can connect your cell phone to a car and all of these different things. Like so many different things have changed. And it just breaks my heart to see how the disconnect and the reconnect is still disconnected because of over-sentencing. You know what I mean? And incarceration. And so I thought it was important just to label this podcast Missing Black Fathers.
That's a great example. I'm glad you brought that out. And I have this conversation regularly because I got nephews that was missing their father, my brother, who was locked up all through the 90s, along with me. And the relationship has been broken. There's animosity between my nephews and my brother, their dad. And the reality is this. Now listen, young Black males are disadvantaged, don't have the support, don't have the independence of maturity to make the kinds of decisions that they end up making and find themselves incarcerated. It's not really their fault.
Yeah.
They're just children that made very bad decisions in a world that wasn't designed to support them and to sustain them, to equip them to be able to raise you as their child that they left out there while they was in prison. So when they come home, understand that. Give them the chance and the support that they need to become whole again.
Yeah.
Because let me give you an example. My brother, mom went to prison when he was 2-3 years old. She caught a life sentence in Texas.
Wow.
A homicide was involved. She only did 7 years. When she come home, he's 10 years old now. His personality has developed. His ways and traits has developed.
Yeah.
Me and him are already smoking weed. They're already trying to hang out in the streets at 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
So she comes home. That relationship is broken. My father was in the streets hustling. Even though he was present in our lives, he in the streets hustling. My brother doesn't know how to be a son,
Yeah.
Right? Because he didn't have his mother.
part.
He was between his grandmother, between a godmother. He didn't have the stable support structure. So he doesn't know how to be a son. Therefore, not knowing how to be a dad to a child that he brought into this world post his incarceration. So he got out of prison after having not been properly developed as a man. Had a child. Right? He has his child. Now the relationship between the father, the males, is broken. And the son is mad at the father. His anger is displaced, though. Now, he has a right to be angry. He does.
Yeah, he does.
But it's displaced temporarily because what he needs to do is work in concert with his dad to figure out how to resolve the problem so that the next son isn't disadvantaged like him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The next. That part. And that's so important.
Indeed.
Wow. Woo.
He ain't bitter toward his dad at all. You see what I'm saying? He know what's going to happen when his father come home. Him and his father going to build together.
They're like,
absolutely.
Build.
Absolutely.
And that's been from
Ain't no
the
question.
jump. You know what I'm saying? So it's only been getting stronger and stronger. Like, that's deep. You know? That's deep.
Absolutely.
It's nothing. Yeah, that's
I want
deep.
you to share with us some of the accomplishments that your dad has had the ability to do while incarcerated. Because it's a hard fight and an uphill battle.
Yep, I got you. So pretty much during his time incarcerated, my dad has participated in numerous educational vocational programs. Some of them include pre-industrial lead training, basic keyboarding, Microsoft, Excel, application, Word, leadership dynamics, public speaking, sociology, stress-less counselors group, Cage Your Rage, advanced stress management, values for responsible living, staying free, and effective communication, character building, and Pause with the Cause, you know.
What's Pause with a Cause?
Okay, Pause with the Cause is a nonprofit organization that works together only with model inmates, you know, and they pretty much have a dog. My dad has a dog in there. Currently, right now, he has a dog, and for 24/7, 7 days a week, he has a dog for up to 4 months before he gets another one. And the dogs he trains are service dogs. So it goes to children with autism, kids with limited, people with limited mobility, and people who are hard of hearing. You know what I'm saying? And my dad does a lot, you know, and for that in itself, you know, I pay homage, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad, he could be in there doing X, Y, and Z, but my dad really sees, you know, a future of him getting out and him being able to prove he believe it, you know, and he speak it, you know, he believe it, he speak it, and it's going to manifest, you know, and I say it every day that my dad is coming home this year.
Yes, he is.
You know, my dad's coming home this year, 2021. You know, my dad's coming home because he believe it and he see it and I see it and everybody, just the universal law of everything. Everything is intertwining with me meeting her, her being plugged with you coming here. It's coming.
And now, so how can people send your dad some love? Do you have his address?
Yeah, I do have his address. I do have
And the petition.
And the petition. Also, yeah, the petition. If you want to support, you can go to change.org /freewilliekincaide.com. You can go on there, look at the petition. You can see and get a glimpse of what's really been going on.
And the address?
And the address for my dad is man, I don't necessarily have that just on hand. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. So in those 2 seconds, Hakim, so with that 650 lifer law, it has been reformed for future offenders, right?
Yeah, it has. It definitely has, because they realize that you can't just lock somebody up for life.
Okay.
For, you know, a drug offense, right? And so, yes, they have made some concessions to it, allowing for people under the 650 law, future people convicted under 650 law, to have an eligibility for parole, to have an opportunity to actually get out. And if you recall, the 650 lifer law ended up in the 80s being applied to crack.
Okay.
Now, when the 650 law came out, crack didn't even exist.
That part.
You know what I mean? And so it began to be marginally used to target black African-American traffickers of crack cocaine. You know, so the disparity is there, and it has been reformed. The question is, how does it apply retroactively to people that has already served 20, 30 years under the 650 law? And you have to look at it from this point of view. Everyone who got caught with 650 grams or more wasn't charged as a 650 lifer, even though they could have been. Okay. I was in the streets at the time. I'm almost 50, right? So back in my era, my people, we all was in the streets selling dope. My people got caught with bricks of cocaine, didn't get charged with 650 lifer law. Few of them did, right? Few of them did. Lonnie Mckissick is currently under the 6-figure life for law, right? And so many people got caught up because of targeted prosecution.
Give us some more info on Lonnie, because we got to advocate for Lonnie as well.
Yeah. So Lonnie Mckissick, him, my uncle, and a couple other people got indicted in 1996, or got charged in 1996. And Lonnie was the one that ended up with the life sentence out of most of them. My uncle did 10 years. A couple others did 5 and 6 and came home. A couple people got probation. But he was the connect, so to speak, with the drugs.
Okay.
And even though, the case is a big case, he was able to get the 650 life for law with the parole option, though,
Wow.
which is for 40, 50 years down the line.
Wow.
He's already been in since 96. So he still technically has like 30 years
Wow.
left. Right? So, the battle to get people home that's doing long-term indeterminate sentences is underway here in the state of Michigan. And there's organizations and agencies out here fighting to get people home with these long, indeterminate lifestyle sentences. Even people that got, you got people in prison doing 120 years for drugs.
Yeah.
Which is a life sentence.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a triple.
Yeah.
It's triple life. And on top of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So what's the address, babe, for your daddy?
Yes, it's 10274 East
10274?
74 East Boyer Road, Carson City, Michigan. His inmate number, his name is Willie Kincaide, inmate number 927.
Can you spell Kincaide for me?
Yep, Kincaide. Kincaide.
And his number is?
927-856.
I'm going to go send him a card tomorrow.
You should.
Tremaine.
Yeah, it's in the
Tremaine.
chat.
Who is
Tremaine, that's my cousin.
Shout out to Tremaine.
Yep, shout
Tremaine
out to-
on it.
Yeah.
Tremaine here with us today.
Yeah,
Shout
what's
out
up,
to Tremaine.
Shout out to Cuz. That's
Tremaine
my
did put the
cousin.
address up there, and we also had a link to change.org.
Yep,
Shout
yep.
out
Shout out to
Tremaine.
Cuz. Shout out to
that's
Cuz. That's
beautiful. I got to
Cuz.
chill. I just got so many chills.
Yep, Cuz definitely
This
been
is
riding all the
real.
way with
It's
my
real.
dad. I've been riding. Tremaine been riding. Tremaine been there all the way. Thick and thin. Tremaine. Shout out, Cuz. I love you.
Appreciate that. So we got to go ahead and try to wrap this thing up, right? And I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry, Miles. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do our SMH moment, because we have to still stay on task with what we do with the Single Mommy Hustle. We believe in self-care, right? Mm-hmm. And filling your cup. Mm-hmm. So one segment that we have here is called your SMH moment. I just need a real quick, short, what was something that happened in the last week that made you think twice, shake your head, giggle a little bit, something that may have happened that made you just like, oh God, right? And and we don't want any personal information, right? No details. So Hakim, what was your SMH moment?
Oh, man. Listen, I hope my people ain't watching, but my
You know they
SMH
are.
moment, working diligently to get this $1 million grant submitted.
Come on, $1 million grant.
Man, we put in a lot of work for this.
Man, for sure.
And some kind of way, our grant manager missed checking a box and submitting one of the documents, one of the required documents,
We would die.
and we got kicked out of the grant.
Wow.
We would
$1 billion gone.
No.
Damn.
I'm shaking my head now.
I'm about to cry. Forget
My hand dropped for you.
Oh no.
Wow.
Dang. We don't know nobody.
man.
We don't know nobody.
Oh,
I want to
that's
have
me
here.
too. I need told you tissue. I need to start having tissue at water and tissue.
Grants is
This is deep.
stressful.
They are. We're currently working on something right now.
That's sickening right there.
Okay. Ugh.
Wow.
So, whew, after that, how do you fill your cup? I see you drinking some Gatorade. How do you fill your cup and unwind after a long week of giving and pouring out?
You
What's
know
your
what?
wind down moment?
I actually enjoy sleep, so I lay down early.
Do you?
I may lay down sometimes 7, 8 o'clock and be gone. You
Okay.
might not see me till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Like that's how sometimes you got to take your rest.
You
and
got
lay
to,
down.
though. You got to. And I get it, because, I've been learning to readjust my schedule. Shut it down by 9, because I'm up, by 3 in the morning and at the gym by 5:30. So it's serious, to readjust and get some sleep. So, babe, I keep calling you babe. Mr. Page.
Yep.
What's your SMH moment?
My SMH moment, my shaking my head moment.
Single
would
mommy
be
hustle moment.
Oh, single mommy hustle
No,
moment.
check your head.
Oh, okay,
Check
I was
your
about to
head.
say.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh man, see, I'm glad you said that. Okay, well, obviously, I'm gonna state the obvious. My shaking my head moment is to to the country, the systemic racism that, this country promotes, that is institutional, structural, individual forms of racism that, us as a people, us as a people, we gotta gather together and we gotta get, put ourselves in the forefront to battle this systemic racism that we're going up against, So my shaking my head moment is to, systemic racism in this country and not giving us, as black people, so-called black people, not giving us a fair shot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's wrong. I feel like it's unjust. And, and I feel like now I have found my true purpose in life. And I feel like my true purpose in life is to...
Because you said something. You said it's not just for dad.
It's not just for dad. It's definitely not just for dad. It's for other people who... it's just for all social injustices around the globe. I feel like I really want to shed light on, the people who... need help, and I feel like I want to do that all around the world, so definitely. Shout out to my pops, most definitely.
And so how do you wind down, baby, after a long week of pouring out all of that? Because you talk a lot. You talk as much as I do. So how do you wind down and fill your cup?
Okay, how do I wind down and fill my cup?
And be real.
And me winding down, I'm gonna be real. Me spending time with my children.
Okay.
Me spending time with my children. Shout out to Armann, shout out to Dozier. Those my two boys. Me spending time with them, like I could be having all the problems out in the world, but when I see them, all that is away and I'm relieved, So me spending time with my boys.
That's good.
Definitely.
Miss TaySlay.
That's me. That's me.
I love TaySlay Motivation.
Station?
Motivation Station.
Do you? Thank you.
What's your SMH moment, babe?
My SMH moment probably will be... I gotta think, guys. So listen.
You had a week.
The thing is, you know how you're known as the person who's always up.
Yeah.
You're known as the person who's always smiling.
Yeah.
You're known as the person who's always happy. You got all the answers. Even like in every way, shape, or form, you're the person, So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I'm the person. I got this, But then it comes a time in life where I don't got it, I'm low. I'm sad. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. And my shaking my head moment is, how can I not be understanding for myself as much as I be understanding for everybody else?
Mm-hmm. Self-aware, self-care.
Yeah. And it's okay.
That's real.
It's okay.
And that's the thing. And so you do have to monitor and gauge that thing. Because you know me. And I carry many hats, many
exactly.
bags.
Yes.
And so you do have to be able to find that balance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In doing the things that we do. And that's why it's important for us to highlight the self-care and filling your cup.
Definitely.
So if you don't do it, you'll be now coherent to do it. Mm-hmm. You'll be intentional to do it.
Absolutely.
So every week, fill your cup. Because you cannot give from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
We just watched a video on that.
We definitely just watched the video.
I'll send you one, right?
Yep.
But
talking about the same one.
Exactly.
Is it Ayanla?
Nope. I
so
believe.
I'll send it to you.
We're going to tell you ours. So
the thing is this. You cannot give from an empty cup. Mm-hmm. Okay? You have to be able to give from a cup that's overflowing. Mm-hmm. The overflow is what you give to other people. Mm-hmm. What's in your cup is yours. Mm-hmm. So you have to continuously be pouring into your cup. Let me tell you, went yesterday, worked out, got me a pedicure, got my eyebrows and my lashes done. Today went and got my hair done. Well, thank you.
No problem.
I do this.
You do.
But I'm intentional. It's not about the outward appearance.
Exactly.
This is about me filling my cup. Because that's the time when I turn my phone off, I listen to motivational videos, I meditate, and I think, I process, I write in my books, right? Collect my thoughts. So it's important, Tay.
It is.
For you to be a leader, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be able to find that balance and continuously fill your cup.
Yep.
Because it's so many people, and we don't even really want to focus on the others, but your children. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my mottos. My life is not my own, but for those that come thereafter. And that doesn't necessarily mean my children, right? Mm-hmm. Because my increase, when I ask God to increase my territory, That's beyond just my children.
It's anybody around me, anybody in my presence,
Everybody.
anybody in
You
my
might get
energy.
in your realm of
Okay,
energy.
Because it's
Absolutely.
Amen.
You might
Absolutely.
stand too close. You might
You
get
gonna
blessed.
get, you're going to get it. If you burn me, you're
Don't
going to get
want a
blessed.
blessing. Don't come
I'm
here.
a child of God, okay?
But Jessica, what's your Tay? How do you fill your cup?
I fill my cup with trying to listen to words of affirmation. I listen to motivational videos. I'm talking about literally in a second. If I feel myself get thrown off, if I'm like motivated enough, just like you said, if I can balance enough, then I will just go ahead and boom, go into my YouTube and I just try to listen to stuff that build me up, even if I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I try to force myself to,
That part.
or I try to surround myself with people that I know will build me up, like him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Armann. If I'm down, and I can just be being a complete, excuse my language, B word. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
What
Unintentionally,
Beyonce say,
sometimes
flaws and all.
intentionally. Flaws
I'm a
and
bitch in the
all.
morning.
And in the night, too. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean no harm because you know my heart, but this
Yeah.
is just sometimes I just cannot
Come
take
on
it
and
all.
preach.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I can't. And then so what I do is I surround myself. I call my mom. You know, that's my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calling on my mama. She definitely.
I call her too. I be in my driveway like, Scent.
I be in her driveway, Mom.
Got all the answers.
You know what I'm saying? So I just surround myself with people, or even I would go on people's page who I look at. Like I look up to you.
Yeah.
I look up to Shay. I look up to Boo.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of my older cousins
Yeah.
that is really doing something in life.
We got
Like
a
you
dope
are
ass
really
family,
doing
though.
something. We gotta
Absolutely.
get along or not. Listen, shout out to all y'all. I don't care. Everybody.
That part.
And that's
Yeah.
just real from my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it
Because
is.
as much as we'll fight each other, don't you outside.
call me.
Right. Everybody,
Punch her in the face,
hey,
but you can't punch her in the face.
everybody
You know what I'm
jumping
saying?
in.
Cause I'm on my way. And don't talk to me after we done fighting. Still don't call me.
Yeah, that part. Let me call you first.
I'm gonna call you back
And say, hey, babe,
Hey, you good?
is you hungry or not?
Or not? Cause I'm all
Because
right.
I'm trying to go to the restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
And anybody else trying to go. But and Jessica is my cousin, and I love her. And we have those moments. We've never physically fought, though.
That's
By
what's
the
up.
grace of God. I don't think we ever fought.
No, you gotta look close. But no.
All families got that. All families got that.
What's your SMH moment, babe? Outside
You know
of
what?
the obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day was a SMH moment.
Yeah.
Literally, like I shook my head so much, I'm surprised my
You got a
neck
neck?
broke. I'm surprised my neck ain't broke. But it's kind of like, I already thought I was a pretty strong person.
And you are?
But I got this thing that when one of my loved ones is going through something,
That part.
like that empath in me is really strong. And when I tell
Me
you, I've had
too.
multiple loved ones going through a different situation every day this week. This Thursday, I hope tomorrow is a better day. But
to
it
know.
was hard. In my SMH moment is, I think that this weather has been so nice these last
Yeah.
couple of days. Because me and my porch and my tears have been the best of
Thank you.
friends.
Thank you, Mother Nature.
So
Okay.
I needed those moments in this weather, in this sunshine, to just, decompress so that I can be available for them. It's this hell week. Hell week. This week trumped the last hell week we had. This was hell week.
This is the week.
This was the
But
week.
it's only gonna make you stronger for next week.
You know
We
what?
don't want to
And
be stronger for next week.
I want to
we
be
just
strong.
want
I
to get through this
want to be
week.
strong.
we just want to get through this week.
But you so, yeah, everybody's so covered.
Look, you think
I
you
love the
know,
energy.
but you have no idea.
You don't
And
know.
see, we make it look good and we make it look easy and effortless. You think I'm smiling, you think I'm able to post pictures of the salmon, but baby,
We all go through it.
Everybody,
hard.
everybody.
how you wind down just this week?
I have been winding down with love and support.
Okay.
Amen.
Compassion, consideration,
Ooh, availability.
availability.
I've canceled so much of my own important stuff to be available because, everybody needs somebody.
Yeah.
So, yes, I got to be there.
I love you for
That's
that.
And
what's up.
shout out to my support system because this person knows that I am this way when it comes to my loved ones. And she very well herself has gone through some stuff this week. But when she hear it in my voice, I look at my phone. I don't get a phone call or nothing. I look at my phone. I'm outside.
That's so real, though. I don't have to tell you what's wrong with me. You just know. Even if I'm trying to
Just
play
hear
it
it in my
off.
voice. I'm outside.
Yes.
Open the
that's
door.
deep.
It's
No,
the door locked.
no. Half the time I don't even get that. I get a, hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom, are you dressed? I'm coming up.
So shout out to my support system.
Aw, that's amazing.
That's what's up.
This week has been really crazy. I am not going to get into any details about the SMH moment, but I thank God for communication. My SMH moment has been alleviating any hiccups. Right? So, well, I'll say this. My SMH moment was the staycation.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica helped me plan a staycation. When I went to check in at the Element at Metropolitan, Detroit, Jessica was like, she can't have no company, no visitors, no nothing. I took her laptop. It's a wrap.
No work. and look, she snuck.
I'm going to take her phone if I got to.
She snuck and texted me. I want to let you know that, Jessica. While she was on her staycation.
She texted me and said she had took care of some business.
I'm sorry.
What else are you
I'm sorry.
Hey. But wait a minute, what?
At 3 a.m., I was like, I just want to edit the flyer.
She told me, I'm not supposed to be texting you right now, but I'm like, oh, okay.
But that was very beautiful, and I thank you, Jessica and Tyreka. Tyreka gifted me with some strawberries, and my suite had everything. We didn't even realize that it had everything.
We scrambling to get stuff, and we got there like, oh, that was a waste of time.
I mean, I had brought a little rolling cooler, but it had everything. This suite was beautiful, and it was on time, you know, to just decompress and recenter and reevaluate what's important and prioritize what was important, right?
Y'all know what we need when we need it.
Yeah.
Right on time.
So I'm thankful for them putting that all together, helping me put this together. And then my wind down, of course, because of the things that I will not mention, is dedicated to my auntie Steph. She said, I'm fighting this thing and I'm going to make it. And I said, you damn sure will.
Yes, she will.
You damn sure will. So shout out to my auntie Steph. I wind down tonight drinking one of our favorites, Kendall Jackson Chardonnay.
Okay.
And I have no shame in sharing that. So that's those are our two segments. We're gonna just hit this table so we can get out of here and get out of Miles's hair or non-hair. And final words, 1 minute or less. Same rotation.
Final words, man. Never give up. There's a saying I used to say actually about winning, that when you're in the race, you can never lose.
Ooh.
But it's when you're not in the race that you've already lost.
Absolutely.
So you have to stay the course, because as long as you're in the race, you have a chance to cross the finish line.
I love it.
Period.
I love it.
I love it too.
I love it.
Final words for me, definitely I got to put a lot of emphasis on that change.org. You know, I'm just definitely trying to get my dad home from prison. Change.org.com/free Willie Kincaide, Kincaide, KINCAIDE. And also just keep God first, keep faith alive, stay driven, stay pursuing to your dreams. If you have something that you believe in and truly believe in, you must fight for. You can't sit back and wait. Too much time has been wasted, and now I'm woke, you know? I'm woke.
That part.
Yep.
Tay?
So for me, I'm gonna start off and say my final words is Proverbs 18:21, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So be so aware of what you say, because what you say, you know, it conquers all. Because what you think is what you say, and what you say is your actions, and now that's your life, that's your new norm. You know, just be true to you. If it's hard, don't give up, because it's going to get hard. But if you ask God to use you, be prepared for that. Because he's not going to use you at the littlest level. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to say, oh, I'll use you because this is an easy task. But if you want to be used, know what you want to be used for, because it's not going to be easy.
Baby.
You have to stand strong in what you believe in. You have to be committed. You have to be able to fight
Tunnel
through
vision.
the negativity, that you're putting out, that you're bringing in. You have to know that, it's the law of attraction, and what you put out is what you receive back, in every way, shape, or form, whether it's intentional or not,
Absolutely.
Believe in yourself.
Preach.
Never give up. Always do the right thing, and it's all it's all set in stone. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen. It's already set. So just have faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. Trust in God. You can't worry and pray and worry at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Just like peace and chaos can't reside in the same place. Know who you are, believe in it, stay there, and find your purpose in life and make God proud.
Mm-hmm. Tay, I said final words, not a goddamn.
I got stop.
Podium and everything.
I had to go in. I'm sorry.
I do love it though. You look, do you, baby? But I'm just saying.
I forgot.
Everybody said 2 seconds, and you was like,
I love
Yeah, you did that.
It shook my soul. My soul.
That gave me goosebumps. That gave me goosebumps. Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
What she say?
Definitely. Well,
it's
Shay tapped in one of my minutes.
Come on, D.
But no, I'm going to keep it short and simple. To everyone watching, if no one has told you today that they love you, I love you all.
Absolutely.
We are all fighting battles that nobody is aware of. Mm-hmm. And something as simple as I love you can get a person through their day. Mm-hmm. So I love you all. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Look at Tay crying.
I ain't I'm a G.
You ain't no G.
Yeah.
I love it. So my final words are thank you all for coming. What did our revolutionary say? We just got a new biopic, Judas and the Black Messiah. And so in the words of Fred Hampton, he said, all power to the people. Or what is it? Am I saying it wrong?
All power to the people.
No, because he had broke it down like each color. Mm-hmm. Power to the brown people, power to the yellow people, power to all people, and he said, I'm not going to die because somebody kills me, shoots me, stabs me. He said, I'm going to die because I'm high off the people. And I love that. And I love that. And so I love what I do. I'm blessed to be able to advocate in this way, shed light in this way. And I'm not going to die from getting shot, killed, or murdered. No one's going to take my life. I'm going to die, one day with being high on the people. Okay.
Absolutely. That was very well said.
We will get through this.
Yes,
change makers like myself, like Hakim, like you and Mr. Page and Jessica. We are change makers.
Yes, we are.
Right now, we are creating change. Mm-hmm. So don't take it lightly.
And raising awareness.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And so they say you have to be the change that you want to see. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thankful to see you all, to have overcome health obstacles and be able to be in this moment at this time. It's just amazing to me. And so I thank you all for coming. Hakim for traveling, the distance that you have.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Brother Hakim.
And
all your knowledge.
I be on you. I be on you on Facebook. Turn up, Hakim, because I love it when you turn up, So I appreciate you sharing truth to power and power to truth. However it goes, I appreciate you. And for being here and loving on this brother who's younger than you, that's coming behind you. Like I said, my motto is my life is not my own, but for those that come thereafter.
Exactly.
And so this person is coming after you. And so I thank you so much for just being in the same space as him and loving on him and just showing him, that healing is possible. Anything is possible. And so this is it. This is the end of our podcast. We want to say thank you from the Single Mommy Hustle, from Supreme Transitions Nonprofit. Make sure you follow us, like, and share on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. If you type in on YouTube podcast Single Mommy Hustle, we will come right to the top. And so we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you and have a great week. Bye.